Gemini, welcome to your career reading. Today, we're going to take a look at your past, present, and future energies when it comes to your career. We'll get you some guidance from your spirit team on what you can do more of to attract abundance when it comes to your career, whatever it is that you're manifesting. This channel is all about making life happen and not waiting for your dream life to come into play. This is all about taking the steps and taking the actions to make your dreams a reality. So stick with me till the end, Gemini. Let's start by looking at your past energies when it comes to your career. What's been happening in the recent past when it comes to your professional life? Show me one card. We've got the Knight of Swords in the recent past. What do we have in the current energies for Gemini? Current energies for Gemini. We've got Two of Pentacles. What are you contemplating, Gemini? I think you have a decision to make. And what's the future energy for Gemini? It's the Queen of Cups. That's amazing. And at the bottom of the deck, I've got this beautiful Eight of Wands. So I feel, Gemini, there is some forward momentum, or there is some back and forth communication. Maybe you're discussing potential projects, opportunities, jobs, new business ideas with a lot of people. I see a lot of momentum in your career, which is really positive to see. In the recent past, we see the Knight of Swords. So this is an energy of quick movement, quick decisions, like the snap sort of judgment on something, or you came up with an idea and you rush towards it. Or for a certain group of you watching, I think there's something about an opportunity in the past that maybe might not have worked out before, but now it did, and you're sort of running towards it. Because the way the Knight of Swords is showing up on my table, it's kind of facing the past. And now in the present energy, you've got a decision to make. You're contemplating two different options, two different directions when it comes to your work life. But in the future, I see happiness, I see fulfillment, I see an inner sense of being, which is very aligned to your soul purpose. The Queen of Cups for me is a very internal kind of energy where you know that you're now aligned to your soul purpose, that you're working in a field or you're working in a job that gives you that internal satisfaction. It might not, I'm not saying that it's not, but for some of you, even if it's a new opportunity that, the designation maybe is not that fancy, or the company that you work at is not that well known, or it's too small, or whatever the case might be, but it gratifies you at a soul level and you're happy with that. In the future, you don't care so much about what other people think about this opportunity as long as it works for you. And that's how it should be, Gemini. So that's really beautiful, but let's get you some clarifiers. So what's the Knight of Swords in the recent past? What's this, quick decision or something that came running toward you, or you sort of ran towards something? What is this in the past? Okay, the King of Cups. Wow. Show me one more. You've got the Wheel of Fortune and you've got the Sun. Wow, Gemini. And we've got the World at the bottom of the deck. So for me, as a tarot reader, the Wheel of Fortune and the World card typically comes out together in a spread, because it basically means that maybe something happened very quick. Something happened very unexpectedly. Maybe you didn't see it coming, but it just happened. But I need you to know whether it was a positive change or a change that you feel didn't really bring you a good outcome. But stick with me, Gemini, because I feel you are being redirected to the change that can bring you closer to your soul purpose. This is what I'm seeing with the Sun card, the Wheel of Fortune, and the King of Cups. A Scorpio could be quite significant in your work life. Maybe you work with a Scorpio, maybe your co-founder, co-partner is a Scorpio. But even if it's not, it's somebody who embodied emotional maturity, or you were, even though this could have been a big change that you're coming out of in the recent past, or maybe some of it is still underway, you were able to deal with it with almost like a newfound amount of emotional maturity. And you perhaps surprised yourself that how you dealt with this big change in a very mature way. Because I feel, when the Wheel of Fortune shows up in our readings, and when you're going through a change that is very divinely ordained, it comes naturally, even though it's a big change. Maybe other people around you are like, wow, Gemini, that's a huge change, or If some of you lost your job, or some of you had a sudden change in role, or were asked to relocate, or I don't know, something about something happened very suddenly. You dealt with it in a very, very mature way. And it helped you see something very clearly. So the sun card is all about elimination, right? So a certain truth was eliminated. Maybe this reorientation in your career helped you finally understand what makes me happy at work and what doesn't. Maybe you thought that whatever you were doing in the past when it comes to your career was fulfilling you, was giving you happiness. But when this change came in, you actually realized where your happiness truly lies. For some others, it could be that you got a brand new opportunity in the recent past, or something was given to you in such an unexpected way, and it made you extremely happy with the sun card, and it was divinely destined, and you were in your fields when it comes to that. So it could also go that way for some of you. So, what's the decision now that you find yourself contemplating over? Because we've got the Two of Pentacles. What's the Two of Pentacles all about? Let's see. Okay, Three of Pentacles. We've got the Eight of Cups, and I've got the Queen of Pentacles for you. Interesting. Interesting. And you've got the Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So I see three threes. Two threes, Three of Cups and Three of Pentacles. You're definitely thinking about. So this is a general reading, right? So not all messages will resonate with everyone. So I want you to apply what I'm going to say to your situation, because obviously it can really depend on what's happening around you right now. But I think now I'm getting this feeling, once we've gotten these clarifiers, that some of you have actually moved on from something, from a work setup, from a set of colleagues, from a set of, like a group that you worked with, or a community. And you've stepped away from that because you're seeking, I guess, more financial abundance. You're seeking a mature, more stable kind of opportunity. That's for some of you. And you are kind of in that contemplative state, that which way should I go that can actually give me something stable, which will last for the long term. Because perhaps in the past, you worked in a place that was very fast paced, or you worked in a way that required you to take quick decisions, work with limited amounts of information, but take quick judgment calls on things. And you're choosing to step away from that and move into something where you can be a lot more reasoned, a lot more measured in the way you work. Let's go a little bit deeper on this, okay? And for some of you, it could just mean that you've been thinking about whether something that you're currently in is going to work and is going to get you the money or the financial abundance that you're trying to manifest. And you're now contemplating whether this is the right opportunity for you to increase your financial abundance. Let's get some more. Why is the Eight of Cups here? Why is the Eight of Cups here? Okay. The King of Swords. So that's Aquarius energy for me. We've got the Nine of Swords, and we have the Nine of Cups. Yeah, something is not fulfilling you. Something, I think, it's very logical, like maybe at a rational cognitive level. Yes, it checks the boxes. You've got the job, the title, maybe it pays the bills, but you're still anxious because it doesn't fulfill you at a very deep inner level. And that's what I was getting, in the recent past. For some of you, when I said that the sun illuminated, what is it that truly makes you happy when it comes to your career, when it comes to your professional expression in this lifetime? And I think a lot of you are realizing that the semantics on it can be great, the optics on this opportunity can be great, but your soul is kind of suffering somewhere. You're still staying up at night. I mean, if not literally staying up at night, but you're, really up in your head thinking about, is this truly what I want to do with my life? And I think these are all great questions to ask, Gemini. So if I were you, I would use this energy to get further clarity on my career. Because I know this can be very overwhelming, and our initial response can be like, oh my God, I don't want to think about something that is so intense. And, I'm doing fine. It pays the bills. I'm happy. I'm senior enough in my profession. Our rational brain or our ego tries to step in. But when the Wheel of Fortune shows up with the World card underneath, the universe is going to make you contemplate on these questions. But don't get scared. It's actually a good thing. This is the time to rein in this energy and actually see what doors it can open for you. And when I say what doors, I don't mean necessarily in tactical opportunities way. I mean what doors of enlightenment, intuition can this energy open up for you. In the near future, we've got the Queen of Cups. What's happening with the Queen of Cups? We have the King of Swords again, the Death card, transformation is coming through, and the Knight of Pentacles with the Nine of Wands. So one common pattern throughout your reading is a little bit of like back and forth. You start to think, okay, this is working for me, and then suddenly the anxiety steps in. Then you start to contemplate, am I in the right field? And then you start to get into those kind of questions and that kind of thinking. But I think in the future, what's happening is that you are going to get this clarity. The King of Swords is very clear as to where he wants to take his life. But something needs to close out, Gemini, for something new to come in. And that's the energy of the Death card. And again, a Scorpio card. So I am seeing this is double confirmation that for some of you, maybe your manager is a Scorpion, or maybe you have strong Scorpio placements in your birth chart somewhere. You're basically expediting this transformation. Let's put it that way in the near future, because this razor sharp insight that comes through helps you get super clear on where you want to go. But I'm going to get you some more messages on that. Show me some more on that. Show me some more on that. The Hermit. Five of Pentacles. See, again, it's like that back and forth. Eight of Cups again. It's almost like you get something, you feel happy for 5 minutes, and then you're like bored. And then you're like, no, but I want something else. Then you get something else, and then you're happy for another 5 minutes, and then you're like, but I want something else. And that tends to happen, Gemini, when we haven't done the work. When we haven't gotten clear as to what is our professional expectation, where do we want to take our life. And I know it's very hard. You can't just sit there and suddenly get all this clarity, but it will take you some time, but at least start to examine these questions, because in the future, I do see you retreating a little bit. I do see you going inwards to try to find out the truth of all of this, because fundamentally, you keep showing me in your spread that you have this mentality of lack, or you feel you lack either the resources or the skills, or as if like you're not enough for what your career demands from you. And this inner realization that maybe I'll never have it, and I'll have to constantly keep moving on to something else. So there's a little bit of like being on the hamster wheel. That's the message, or that's the image that they just gave me right now, which can be quite uncomfortable. So I empathize with you. Let's get you some guidance and see what can Gemini do more of to get more clarity on their career, to rein in more financial abundance. What can Gemini do? I'm sure, the first thing you can do is get clear, do that work, retreat from the world. And I do see you getting into that energy in the near future. But what else can Gemini focus on? Okay, there are 2 cards here. We take this and this. The Devil, the Eight of Swords, and the Tower. Wow, there is something that keeps you very attached, almost chained to this way of thinking, to this being up in your head, to constantly thinking that something's not going to work out. You're really up in your head. But the thing with the Eight of Swords is, and maybe it's not so clear in this rendition of the card, but in the traditional tarot deck, the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, she is tied in very loose kind of ties, and she simply needs to like break free and move on. So she's not actually trapped, but she thinks she is trapped. So Gemini, I need you to examine, where are you keeping yourself trapped with your own limiting beliefs, with your self-doubt, with this feeling of that I'm not good enough, I'm missing something, or I don't have the skills to get this started. And you continue to remain attached to it. So what the universe needs from you is to break this tower, smash this tower down of limiting beliefs, of self-doubt, step into your power. Wow. I don't think they could have been clearer than that on that message. What is not serving, or actually, let's ask what's holding you back from releasing this Eight of Swords, this devil energy? What's holding you back? The moon. You've got some fears when it comes to your financial stability, your career, your professional success, or you can't see something clearly because the moon often plays tricks on our vision, on our perception, because things are unclear or you feel yourself being quite confused when it comes to taking a decision. I see a lot of confusion in your energy. Let's put it that way. To be simply, there is a need for you to start to get clear. What else do you want them to see? What else do you want Gemini to see right now? The Page of Swords. You know, you see like a notebook or a book and these pages just kind of fluttering around. I think this is signifying your thoughts and how your thoughts are all over the place right now when it comes to your career. And we have the Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck because there is some internal conflict. Like in this representation, it's almost like these little things keep bothering you. You start to get back on track and then something happens and you get bothered again. Then you go back. Like you take one step forward, then you take 3 steps back. So this is a deeper kind of reading for you, Gemini. Unfortunately, you know, the tarot or any spiritual tool can only take you so far. This work of getting clarity, we will need to do on our own, right? Like we will need to sit with our fears. We will need to sit with what is it that you're trying to manifest. If it's a certain amount of money that you want to manifest within this year or within the next 2 years, like write that down, get super clear. If that is the number that you are manifesting, then what do you think you need to do to get there? Is your current job, business, partnership, all of that going to help you get there, or something has to change? Do you need to take on a side hustle? Do you need to switch jobs? Do you need to switch your profession altogether? You'll have to ask yourself some of these very straight up questions to get clarity. Let's get you a card from the universe has your back. Let's see. So they've given me 2 cards. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. I'm getting a strong message that you first need to love yourself, you know, and you first need to appreciate what you bring to the table when it comes to your career before other people can start to see that in you. And it says, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. Wow. Wow. Gemini, have more faith. Have more faith in the universe. Know that miracles are possible. Know that you can be successful. Know that whatever you're manifesting can come to be, but you first need to believe in it, right? You need to build up that faith. Show me one more. Going forward. Keep going forward. If there's anything from the past that keeps holding you back, you got to keep going forward. Walk towards the light. You can see that sunshine shining so bright. Just keep walking forward and release at the bottom of the deck. There is something maybe perhaps difficult that happened with that Wheel of Fortune in the recent past. There was a big change in your life, in your professional life. You need to release that, Gemini. It was whatever you were working on in the past helped you get to a certain point in your life, and it couldn't have gotten you to the second stage that you're trying to get to. Therefore, the universe had to step in and remove that from your life. So you need to know that. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't keep overthinking that could I have done things differently so that the outcome could have gone differently. When we get cards like Wheel of Fortune, Star, the World, these are very destined kind of moments. And rather than regret what happened or overthink it, we should take these as learning opportunities and go inwards and really try to see what is the lesson that we're supposed to learn here. So that's what I have for you, Gemini. If you like this video, please do hit the like button for me and feel free to subscribe to my channel. Take care. Bye.